You see their machines on every construction site, shaping the world around us. The iconic yellow of Caterpillar or the deep blue of Komatsu. They're titans of industry, the literal earth movers that carve out our cities, mines, and highways. But behind these logos lies a century-long war for industrial supremacy you've likely never heard of. This isn't just a story about bulldozers and excavators. In the world of steel giants and billion-dollar job sites, a silent war has been raging for generations. It's a story of corporate strategy, national pride, and a technological arms race that has driven innovation and literally shaped the ground beneath our feet. So, how did a Japanese company born from the ashes of post-war defeat rise to challenge the undisputed American giant that helped build the modern world? To understand this rivalry, you have to appreciate the sheer scale of the titan that stood alone for decades. The story of Caterpillar is, in many ways, the story of 20th century America. It didn't start in a boardroom, but in the muddy fields of California. At the turn of the century, farmers faced a huge problem. Their heavy steam tractors would sink into the soft soil. An inventor named Benjamin Holt had a revolutionary idea. In 1904, he replaced the wheels with a set of linked wooden slats, creating a continuous track. As he watched his creation crawl across the land, a bystander remarked that it moved like a caterpillar. Holt loved the name, and an industrial legend was born. The company we know today was officially born in 1925 when the Holt Manufacturing Company merged with its biggest competitor, the CL Best Tractor Company, to form the Caterpillar Tractor Company. This wasn't just a merger, it was the creation of a monopoly on the tracked vehicle concept. Throughout the 1930s, as America was gripped by the Great Depression, Caterpillar thrived. It shifted its focus from farming to the booming construction sector. The company's machines became the workhorses for the nation's most ambitious projects. They carved roads for the Pan American Highway, moved mountains of earth for the Hoover Dam, and helped raise the iconic Golden Gate Bridge from the sea. In 1931, Caterpillar introduced its first diesel engine, a move that revolutionized the industry with its power and efficiency. That same year, the company switched from its standard gray paint to the brilliant high-visibility yellow that would become its global signature. When the world went to war, Caterpillar went with it. Holt's tractor design had already inspired the first British tanks in World War I. In World War II, Caterpillar became an indispensable part of the Allied war machine, producing over 50,000 track-type tractors for the effort. Its missions followed the troops building airfields out of dense jungles, clearing roads through war-torn Europe, and supporting the famous Seabees, the US Navy's construction battalions. By the time peace returned, Caterpillar was an unstoppable global force. It had perfected mass production, and its name was synonymous with American power and reliability. The company aggressively expanded, establishing its first overseas subsidiary in Great Britain in 1950 and building a global dealer network that was the envy of the world. This network was its fortress. Dealers weren't just salespeople, they were partners who provided parts, service, and a trusted relationship in every corner of the globe. In the minds of builders and miners everywhere, there was Caterpillar. And then there was everyone else. They weren't just selling a machine, they were selling uptime and the promise that a cat would never let you down. Half a world away, another industrial power was being forged in fire. Komatsu, which literally translates to little pine tree in Japanese, began in 1921. It was spun off from a mining company to produce machine tools and equipment. For its first few decades, Komatsu focused on its home market, serving Japan's industrial needs. It produced its first agricultural tractor prototype in 1931 and, like Caterpillar, became essential to its nation's military, producing bulldozers and tanks for the Japanese Imperial Army during World War II. But the end of the war brought devastation. While Caterpillar emerged a global victor, Komatsu was left rebuilding from rubble in a shattered economy. Post-war Japan was stuck with a reputation for producing cheap, poor-quality copies of Western goods, and Komatsu's early machines were no exception. Their bulldozers were often prone to breaking down. This was the crucible that forged the Komatsu spirit. In the 1960s, a new president, Yoshinari Kawai, took over, determined to shed the cheaply made label. This era was defined by an almost obsessive focus on quality control, heavily influenced by the teachings of American statistician W. Edwards Deming, whose ideas were largely ignored in the US, but embraced as gospel in Japan. The defining moment came when Caterpillar, the undisputed global king, set its sights on Japan. In the early 1960s, Caterpillar announced a joint venture with Mitsubishi to produce its missions in Japan. For the Japanese government and for Komatsu, this was a direct threat. The American behemoth was coming to conquer their home turf. Faced with this existential threat, Komatsu's leadership made a vow. They wouldn't just compete, they would excel. They launched a company-wide quality improvement campaign with the singular goal of matching Caterpillar's durability. This intense focus paid off. Just a few years later, in 1964, Komatsu was awarded the prestigious Deming Prize for Quality Control, a testament to its radical transformation. The stage was set for one of the greatest David versus Goliath stories in corporate history. With their quiet revolution in full swing, Komatsu's leadership coined a new internal slogan that would define the company for decades: Maru-C. The phrase, taken from the ancient board game of Go, translates to encircle Caterpillar. It wasn't a plan for a frontal assault. It was a strategy of strategic patience, of surrounding your opponent, and capturing territory piece by piece. In July of 1967, Komatsu officially entered the US market, planting its flag directly in Caterpillar's backyard. A few years later, in 1970, they established their first direct sales office, Komatsu America Corp. Initially, the strategy was simple: offer a comparable machine for a lower price. But Komatsu quickly realized that to truly compete, it had to win on quality and innovation, not just cost. The 1970s oil crisis provided a crucial opening. As fuel prices soared, contractors started looking for more efficient machines. Komatsu, coming from a resource-scarce country, had always designed its engines with fuel economy in mind. Suddenly, this was a major selling point. Caterpillar's machines were known for raw power, but Komatsu's offered a level of efficiency that the market was now desperate for. Komatsu's Maru-C strategy was relentless. The company expanded into emerging markets where Caterpillar was less entrenched. Then, in an incredibly audacious move, Komatsu built its first US manufacturing plant in Chattanooga, Tennessee in 1985. The challenger was no longer just exporting to America, it was building in America, for Americans. It was a direct assault on the heart of the empire. This period wasn't without its challenges, though. The 1985 Plaza Accord caused the value of the Japanese yen to soar, dramatically increasing the cost of Komatsu's exports. Many Japanese companies were crippled, but Komatsu doubled down on efficiency. They launched aggressive cost-cutting campaigns and streamlined their production, not just surviving the crisis, but emerging from it stronger and more efficient than before. By the 1980s, the world of heavy equipment was no longer a one-horse race. Komatsu had done the impossible. They had weathered economic storms, overcome a reputation for poor quality, and established a powerful beachhead in their rival's home market. The encirclement was working. The battle for market share quickly became a technological arms race, a conflict that has produced some of the most incredible innovations in heavy machinery. For decades, the two companies have been locked in a duel of competing philosophies. Caterpillar's approach has long been rooted in power, durability, and a deep understanding of the operator. Their machines are built to withstand the harshest conditions on Earth. In the modern era, Caterpillar has poured billions into smart technology. Their Cat Command platform allows for the remote operation of machinery from a safe distance, even from miles away sometimes, transforming hazardous job sites. They pioneered telematics with systems that collect vast amounts of data, letting fleet managers predict maintenance, reduce downtime, and maximize efficiency. Komatsu, however, chose a different path, one of precision, efficiency, and radical technological leaps. They stunned the industry in 2008 by launching the world's first hybrid hydraulic excavator, a machine that captures and reuses energy to dramatically cut fuel consumption. But their masterstroke was the development of Intelligent Machine Control, or IMC. First launched on their dozers in 2013, IMC integrates 3D job site data and GPS guidance directly into the machine. An excavator or dozer with IMC knows the exact design of the site. It can perform tasks semi-autonomously with the blade or bucket automatically stopping at the target grade, preventing costly mistakes and allowing even a novice operator to perform with the precision of a veteran. This culminated in Komatsu's development of the Autonomous Haulage System, or AHS. These are gigantic, driverless dump trucks that navigate the vast landscapes of open pit mines entirely on their own, operating 24/7 with a level of safety and efficiency human operators could never match. While Caterpillar was focused on remote control, Komatsu had leaped ahead into full autonomy, a move that gave them a significant edge in the massive global mining sector. To see this clash of philosophies in action, we just have to look at two of their most popular excavators, the Caterpillar 336 and the Komatsu PC 360. On paper, they are fierce competitors. The Cat 336 often boasts slightly higher horsepower, embodying the Caterpillar focus on raw, brute force for the toughest jobs. It's a machine designed to power through anything. The Komatsu PC 360, while powerful, is often celebrated for its superior fuel efficiency and its integrated IMC technology. This makes it incredibly precise and adaptable, often with a longer reach for greater versatility. It's a classic battle, Caterpillar's raw power versus Komatsu's integrated tech and surgical precision. Today, the war between Caterpillar and Komatsu is fought on a global scale, and their strategies for dominance continue to diverge. Caterpillar remains the world's largest manufacturer of construction equipment, with a global market share of around 16%. Komatsu is the undisputed number 2, holding roughly 11% of the market. In terms of revenue, Caterpillar's 2024 figures were nearly $65 billion, while Komatsu's were around $26 billion for their fiscal year. Caterpillar's greatest weapon is still its unparalleled global dealer network. It's a fortress built over a century, a moat that is incredibly difficult for any competitor to cross. For customers in remote locations, knowing that parts and service are readily available from a trusted local dealer is a powerful incentive that often outweighs the price. This network gives Caterpillar immense brand loyalty and control over the entire customer experience. Komatsu, unable to replicate that network overnight, pushed its Maru-C strategy. The company has focused aggressively on international diversification, with over 80% of its revenue now coming from outside of Japan. They have been more agile in forming joint ventures and localizing production, particularly in emerging markets. They've also diversified into other high-tech areas like industrial robots, which feeds back into the innovation of their core machinery business. The battle lines are clearly drawn. Caterpillar is the established empire, defending its territory with the strength of its brand, the loyalty of its customers, and the immense power of its dealer network. Komatsu, on the other hand, is the relentless innovator, the agile challenger, using technological superiority and strategic expansion to chip away at the leader's dominance. From the dusty fields of California to the high-tech factories of Japan, the rivalry between Caterpillar and Komatsu is the engine that built our modern world. For 100 years, this silent war has pushed both companies to be better, faster, and smarter. Caterpillar's focus on durability forced Komatsu to master quality. Komatsu's obsession with technology forced Caterpillar to innovate. This competition, this relentless one-upsmanship, has resulted in machines that are safer, more efficient, and more capable than ever imagined. The rivalry didn't just build two industrial empires, it built our bridges, our dams, our cities, and the mines that power them. Now, a new battlefield is emerging, the race to create the zero-emission job site of the future. Both giants are investing heavily into electrification, developing battery-powered and even hydrogen-fueled machines. The war that began with steam and diesel will now be fought with batteries and hydrogen cells. The Titan and the Challenger are once again locked in a battle to define the future. A future that will be built on the legacy of their epic 100-year rivalry. The war for the future of construction is far from over, so we have to ask, who do you think is winning? Are you on Team Caterpillar siding with American muscle and legendary reliability? Or are you on Team Komatsu, backing Japanese innovation and technological precision? Let us know your choice in the comment section below, and hey, if you enjoyed this battle of the industrial titans, don't forget to subscribe for more stories of the epic rivalries that built our world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.